Welcome to Seen, Heard and Hired. Real conversations about work, confidence and careers. Join us, two experienced recruiters, career coaches and good friends as we unpack what it really takes to be seen, heard and hired at work. We've got honest stories, practical insights and also the advice that no one ever gives you. Hello, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Carol, and we're your hosts. Between us, believe it or not, we've spent over 40 years working in recruitment and career coaching. We're really excited to dig into those conversations about the realities of work, hiring, and career growth, with some banter along the way. Let's get started. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hey, I am so excited for today. We've got a big topic today, Carol.
We sure have. We're delving into something that's everywhere right now, AI. And so AI and recruitment, what are the myths and what actually really matters? There's so much hype about it, and we talk to so many people on the daily, really, that are quite worried about what AI tools are being used and how they're going to stand out. They think potentially the robots are reading their CVs. So we're just here to have a bit more of a chat through about that. Right?
Absolutely. And AI is part of recruitment now, and of course, but not in the way that people think. I mean, AI is changing everything. AI is everywhere. And we are certainly noticing it in both of our jobs. So, I work in Australia for a large organization in Sydney. And yourself, Carol?
Yeah. I'm a boutique and the agency side for clients. And we, different tools, like Sarah works for a bigger company, and I'm in New Zealand too, by the way. So I have a database or an applicant tracking system that does have some adder intelligence. It's called adder because it's job adder. I just didn't plug for them, didn't I? Added into there. So it is still very new and developing. So it's a bit clunky and very clumsy, but it really needs the human on the end, the connection to be able to still review the application. The fact that, in this moment, a human is still reviewing your application. If you've got yourself a good recruiter or working with a good company, that is absolutely the case.
Interesting, because our ATS system, I'll do a book for work, Danny. We actually don't have, at the moment anyway, I'm sure Work has a lot of capabilities around AI and it's working on it, but right now, it's still very manual. We can go in and we can tag candidates and we can add them to pools and, based on keywords, but it's manual. We are actually not using AIs in our ATS system anyway. It is mostly, would you say, for admin?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's trying to find ways to help the process so that we can actually spend more time talking with candidates, with hiring managers, instead of, in the weeds, really. But that said, I do review every single CV that comes through, that people apply. And, let's be real. I mean, there are some people out there that are going to get rejected fairly quickly because and that's by a human, because they really don't make an effort. They're just auto-applying, flicking a CV out, and it just starts to wear us down, frankly.
Applying.
Yeah. That's a whole other topic. So I think with the AI tools that are starting to come into play, I'll give an example of a role I was doing recently. So people were applying, and the intelligence side of that database was trying to tell me, these people are just moderate or not suitable, but I took the time, and as you should, to go through the CVs. And I tell you, my shortlist was from those people. So it just goes to show you that it's not sophisticated and it's dangerous to start relying on that straight away. Do you agree with that, Sarah? Like, what would you look at every CV, don't you?
I actually had somebody say to me a couple of weeks ago, wow, do you read every CV? Because I think I made a mention that we have maybe 150 applications for one job. It was an analyst role, and they said, oh, wow, are you reading every single CV? I said, yes, I do. I mean, the time spent on some CVs is very minimal. If it's quite obvious that they haven't spent any time on it. But absolutely, I mean, it's our job. Like, and I think I actually said that to him. Like, well, it is my job to read CVs, and we've been doing this, both of us, for 20 years. So we do get quite quick at it. We like to think we're pretty good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always that bit of a joke that, you know, the average recruiter, you've got a 15-second attention span to kind of look at a CV, but I think
15, that's
yeah.
generous.
But I think it's yeah, true. But it's that's why, and we will talk about this in future episodes as well, but it's so important to tailor your CV, spend the work, look into why you want to apply for that role, and really make your application hum.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be hard. It's just all about your achievements, tailoring for that particular role. And, you know, there's lots of tips we can give you around that. But the ones that come through, whether you think it's a robot reviewing them or a human, you're certainly not going to get past, you know, the gatekeeper, put it that way.
Yeah. I've got a question for you, Carol.
Oh. Do I have to answer it?
Cover letters. So what do you think? I suppose applying to a job, we mentioned kind of what makes CVs stand out. What do you think about cover letters?
I love cover letter.
Me too.
Yeah, I've talked about this before because there's a real for or against in the cover letter camp. And I really love to see someone that's taken the time to write one, and it really helps me get to know them, sometimes better than the CV, because you can really see behind, you know, and the reason they're applying or what it was about the job that really stood out. I want to see some energy and some excitement and drive, you know. I guess probably, you know, senior roles I would expect it as a given.
Yep.
You know, some of the more junior roles, perhaps that's a bit of a challenge, but it's really, really lovely to see a cover letter from a graduate, because you can understand what it is about, you know, what they've studied and why they want to do this particular role. You know,
I've actually got a couple of hiring managers that if you haven't done a cover letter, you even being on the strength of your resume, even if it's amazing, they will not look at you, because in the advert we did say to apply we must have a resume and a cover letter tailored for this position. And if you haven't read that and you haven't bothered, then you will be auto rejected. So yeah, I mean, on the flip side of that, my partner actually works in recruitment as well.
oh my word, they're surrounded. Yeah.
And he doesn't read cover letters. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, everyone is different, but it's important to note that there is some hiring managers out there that are a little bit more traditional, like myself and Carol. I'll not say the word old, I'll say traditional.
Yeah. But also that really is, I've got a client that's like that too. They ask for a cover letter, and that's a way of checking that people are reading instructions. It's a way to see that you've got the energy for the role. You've even read to the bottom of the advert.
Yeah. Because
the auto apply on the, you know, the bigger job boards these days, you can just auto apply, dear hiring manager, you know, this looks like a great role, but you're not talking about the role and you haven't done any due diligence. So whilst we, you know, we might be drifting a little from the AI piece, this is also about recruitment in 2026. And more importantly than ever is to be able to really be able to position yourself, because if the robots are coming, we really need you to be able to stand out so the human gets to see your details.
Absolutely. And look, use AI in your cover letter. Use it as a base. I'm not saying do not use in it, but I think you can't just take that as given. You know, you have to then be able to tailor it for you and make it work for you. What do you think?
Yeah, I quite often I'm reading them or even CVs. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so ChatGPT yeah. And so I quite often might ask someone, they're like, yeah, and they're so proud of the fact that they put it into an AI tool and got their CV done. But it really should be, you know, use it for some grammar checking or how to list out your achievements, but, you know, make it your own, make your own words, make your own, you know, the personal summary, that sort of stuff. And we really want to see the person. Yeah. Otherwise, all is lost. No.
CVs are personal. They are personal. They're so personal. Yeah.
But that's, I guess, with the, you know, to relate the AI worry is a candidate that I was talking to the other day. You know, I've known her a long time, but I haven't worked with her for some time because she's been in her own role for many years now. So she's coming back into the market and really nervous because, you know, AI is here now and I don't know what to do with my CV and how do I tailor it for the, you know, the robots as such. But, you reassuring her, yes, keywords is kind of the thing everyone's talking about. You've got to get keywords in your CV for the applicant tracking system. But if you do a CV that is fully stuffed with just keywords, it is so boring. You've got to hit the metrics, yes, but I think it's more about achievements. And I reassured her, and I'll say it again, humans are still very much reading your CVs.
I hope so. Imagine a world where we're just all robots.
Yeah. Okay. So they can do my vacuuming, but they're not helping me apply for my role. Yeah. The other part too is, if you're out there and you're a woman that's listening to this trying to update your resume at 9:30 at night, I mean, it's
we've all been there.
Yeah, one eye open, glass of wine, kids finally asleep. Yeah, it's that those are the things that are the bigger problem. It's actually getting clarity in who you are, not worrying about AI so much, but the clarity piece really matters.
Yeah.
Would you agree, Sarah?
Absolutely. I've actually got a question for our listeners. It's part of thing. Like, when was the last time you updated your resume? And if you're sitting there thinking, wow, I haven't updated it in years, take a look at it. Get your resume updated before you're looking for a job. Just to Carol's point there, when you suddenly think, wow, I had the most horrendous day at work. I need a new job. And you just start frantically throwing out CVs to any organization, and you do your CV, and it's not really had any thought, any strategy put into it. But if you actually do it when you're in a good state of mind and start putting the work in now, you can get it to a good place before you actually want to move on.
Absolutely. It's a topic that I love to talk about actually in the coaching. It's kind of like your job search needs a strategy. It's not just a hit and miss. So, whilst we're on the recruitment trends of 26, clarity is still everything. What do you want? What are you good at? I mean, it's pretty shocking really that some people can't answer that. So, Sarah said it earlier. I mean, most people aren't getting rejected because of AI. It's because they're unclear about their proposition or what they want. And I gave that example earlier of that coaching client who was really worried about how to put herself forward and, got her CV sort of all. It wasn't her CV at all, really, in the end. So I guess that, the other part to this is also we need resumes that are really clearly laid out and really easy to read. So people talk about, the ATS CV, but what I'd say to that is, while we're on the topic of CVs, is I'm always telling people just get your CV to read from left to right. Don't get it all fancy with columns down the middle and that sort of thing, because it corrupts when it passes through the applicant tracking system. So this might be a bit of a yawn topic, but it's actually quite important, because if there is recruiters who eventually are relying more on the AI tool to bring you out of their database to find for a role, it's corrupted the data. So that's another reason to, really just have a simple, clear, laid out CV that we can get through pretty simply.
And I mean, if you're still sitting there thinking, I don't know what I want anymore, start there. Like Carol said, that clarity piece first, always, because everything else just becomes easier after that.
Absolutely. And it's we're going to talk about all sorts of things as we work through this journey, because we've only just got started as well. So love to hear from you guys as well, by the way, if there's anything you want us to talk through. But in the end, I mean, connection is king. It's about networking. It's about that confidence in interviews, and that and AI is not involved there. That human connection is never going to go away.
You need the networking. If you are thinking about what to do first, start with your why, start with getting clear on what you want, and just reaching out to people, networking, having conversations, because AI is never going to change that.
I guess, as we work through sort of to the end of this, I mean, you don't need to understand AI to get AI. See, I said it wrong way. So I don't understand it. AI to get hired as such. What you need to understand is who you are, what you want, and be clear about it. So look, if you're still sitting there thinking, I don't even know what I want, let's start there. Yeah.
We put some link in the show notes. So yeah, have a look if you're thinking that you may want some one-on-one coaching. Is something that myself and Carol offer. So yeah, have a look, and we will see you in the next episode.
Awesome. That was so much fun. See you soon.
See ya.